Welcome back to Ready or Not. In the last video, we made our way through the first half of the levels in the game, as part of the John Wick challenge. If you didn't catch it last time, the premise is simple. More enemies, lower accuracy, lots of ammo, and no teammates. Today, we'll be following our hero Juan once more as he blasts through the second half of levels,
Me informaron que habría cumbia y Taco Bell en la función.
which are usually agreed to be some of the hardest in the game. We'll have to solo clear Minecraft YouTuber mansions, human trafficking operations, more human trafficking operations, CIA-infested hotels, and of course, a nightclub chock full of terrorists, all of which can have upwards of 80 enemies running around with the intent to kill us. Asking one man to clear out hundreds of enemies across these locations in a single day is, of course, incredibly unfair. But we are not some normal man. We are Juan Tap.
Dr. Relevant, we've evacuated the block and field gear standing by. Proceed to the bomb site and disarm them.
Our first level for today will be Valley of the Dolls. Here, we have to kill, not arrest, Amos Vol, a well-known Minecraft streamer and Reddit moderator. In our way is his private security team. These corpo suit scumbags are pretty well armed and quite dangerous, but Juan is not in danger. He is the danger. I decide to go for a top-down clear of the main building first, approaching the front door and neutralizing the first guy I see so I can peacefully unlock the door. After taking care of the few threats up here, my presence was now known to the security team. And that's when the party starts. One of the harder parts of this level is always going to be the windows and this staircase. Since there tend to be a lot of agents outside, you'd normally be getting peppered with bullets while going down here. But we did a pretty good job of clearing out the exterior, so we go down the stairs and into the second floor and the lobby, where we are of course met with even more agents. The massacre continues throughout the entire mansion. We clear each and every single room, corner, and area of hostiles before immediately moving on to the next. After performing a thorough clean of the outside, we head into the basement, where we kill the ensemble of Discord mods hiding within before exiting to perform a final sweep of the level.
Bite me.
As I return upstairs, I discovered that an ambush was set up, but thankfully, it wasn't enough to foil our plans. Now with only the last man standing, it was time to sweep the map again and find where that last agent was hiding. In the process, I made sure to double tap every corpse that even vaguely looked like Amos Vol. If you played this game, you'll probably understand why. Eventually, I found our last suspect hiding within a bathroom. And... well, that isn't supposed to happen. You see, technically, I did complete the level, and I could move on to the next one. I redid the entire level again.
Please make sure you cover your faces on the ride home.
The elephant is a level that will get me demonetized if I'm not careful with my words.
Si dijera lo que quiero decir ahora mismo, este canal sería eliminado en 24 horas.
In this level, we have to
unalive
several
happy friends
inside of a
normal location.
Thankfully for us, the
Friends
aren't too numerous, and we should be able to clear this spot out in a jiffy. With the library cleared, I decide the best way to clean out the map is our tried and tested top-down approach. Starting, of course, by full clearing the second floor. I then have a very close encounter in the presentation hall, where I'm attacked by 2 suspects head-on and get ambushed by a third, who I double tap just to make sure won't get up again. Now on the first floor, I make sure to check every back room before going to defuse the bomb. And from there, we just have to roam the hallways and pick off the enemies one by one. As I mentioned previously, this level actually has considerably less suspects than usual, and it took me longer to find them than it usually did to kill them. But a few gunfights in classrooms and laboratories later, and I had managed to get my hands on the last guy, who I took out. Unfortunately, we didn't get the option to exit yet, which can only mean one thing. Next up, Rust Belt.
Así que estos son los hijos de puta que intentaron clonarme, ¿eh?
In this level, we find ourselves somewhere along the US border, dealing with a network of tunnels being used to smuggle all sorts of illegal products. For example, cheeseburger. We start by arriving at the forefront of the operation, a shitty farm somewhere in the desert with seemingly nobody home. It doesn't take long for me to find some hostiles and also some non-hostiles.
And I've got to say, in all honesty, it's the biggest piece of dog shit.
And after not too long, the outside area was clear. And silent. Too silent. So, it was time to move into the buildings. Here, we would face off against... Whoa, wait, chill. What the fuck? Anyways, as we make our way into the tunnels, we have to check every corner to make sure there aren't some cartel thugs waiting to blast our head off. The tunnels are long, windy, and very close quarters, almost like the tunnels back in Twisted Nerve, except instead of being completed utter garbage, they're pretty cool. Overall, this level proves to not be too difficult, and aside from a few intense gunfights here, there, and near the end of the level, it's a relatively easy and quick clear.
This is Top Brief.
So you're the man of the hour? I've heard a lot about you recently. Seems you're making some waves here in my city. Say, since you're here, how about you do me a favor? Go to the Clemente Hotel. Get to the top floors and do your usual.
Talk here.
Welcome to Sins of the Father. In this level, we find ourselves facing off against my second biggest enemy right after the IRS, the CIA. You see, they've taken control of this hotel and are holding everyone inside hostage. And unfortunately for them, Juan has been airdropped onto the premises to control the situation. While usually, I tend to be able to clear floors pretty linearly, this time around, the enemies were absolutely surrounding me. I got held down in this piano room for a hot minute as enemies trickled in from all sides. When the coast finally seemed clear, I decided to make my move and escaped, moving on to clear the hallways nearby. This level didn't even have any side objectives, meaning it really was just a run-and-gun operation. With this stage now clear, we had 41 suspects to our kill count, bringing our total up to 419 kills. Pretty impressive, huh?
Talk here. Negotiations have failed with the active shooter. Make entry and clear the area.
Welcome to Neon Tomb. In this level, we find ourselves in the Neon nightclub, which has been overrun and turned into a massacre site by a terrorist group. They've now holed up in every last LED-lit corner of the compound. And we are gonna dig them out. We managed to get a quick entry into the building and secure ourselves some space to work with. Now faced with one of the most annoying rooms to clear, this glass room, I had to be extremely careful, as any wrong move could result in my death. It took a little bit of elbow grease and the dodging of some RPK bullets, but we were making steady progress in thinning out the terrorist numbers. Now with the first floor mostly clear, I decided it was as good a time as any to head on up to the second floor's winding hallways for the final stretch. This is it. The final gunfight for the dance floor was pretty intense, but in the end, we managed to come out on top. Now running pretty low on ammo, I still had to make the final rounds around the map to find the last enemies. After turning off the music in the big dance hall, the last suspect showed himself and we brought order to chaos. Unfortunately, we had done a good job of keeping the civilians alive, which meant we wouldn't be able to leave until we had rescued all of them. Alternatively, Bite Cheap, Bite Twice, and Carriers of the Vine are both, quite frankly, boring levels. So we'll go over them quickly. In BCBT, we have to take back a car dealership being used to peddle illegal substances. Being a cartel level, the enemies are relatively well armed, but are nothing to write home about. With only 59 suspects in total, it brings us to a kill count of 568. In Carriers of the Vine, we have to kill a bunch of women in a farm.
No, alright, I know that sounds bad.
But it's because they're in a cult, and they killed some cops or something. Anyways, this particularly annoying level with horrible visibility has a measly 47 suspects. Bringing the kill count up to 615. And now, for the interesting levels.
Como ellos dicen, end of the line, motherfuckers.
Welcome to Relapse. Being the penultimate level in the game, it's of course going to be one of the hardest. In this level, we have to clear out a large part of a hospital, with multiple floors and nearly 100 enemies, some of which are actually disguised as civilians. With the first floor mostly presumably clear, I decided to start heading up the stairs onto the second floor, where I was immediately met with enemy combatants. I continue clearing every room and hallway carefully, but quickly, as there is still an unaddressed bomb threat somewhere in the hospital, and if I don't reach it in time, then we'll have some real problems. Clearing out the children's ward, I make sure to double tap any hostiles and confirm that the bomb is in fact not here. This means it's in another place entirely. Now racing against the clock, I have to take my chances to reach the bomb. In the hopes I can survive the sky bridge, I make a mad dash without cover while under enemy fire. But thankfully, I do make it to the second building. Now, we have to face off against some of the most tightly compacted enemy groups in the entire challenge, each hallway and corner potentially hiding more enemies than the last. Thankfully, I make it to the bomb site in time and defuse the explosives, meaning that now, our objective is just to clear the area. So, I take the stairway down into the X-ray area. This set of winding, dark hallways combined with odd room layouts is always particularly tricky to clear, especially as the stairway adds a potential flank route for enemies, which has gotten me killed before. With their leader taken care of, I start clearing the first floor of the building, where I find that the autopsy rooms are absolutely loaded with enemies. Once I'm finally done with those, I quickly check around the rest of the floor, which seem to be mostly empty. So, with the more well-lit areas of the first floor confirmed to be clear, It seemed we were in a last man standing scenario, and soon enough... Okay. Finally.
Howdy, partner. Got another gig for you. Port Hoken. There's a package there I want you to retrieve. It's from a little tech startup. Fortunately, we had a little falling out recently and they don't want to finish my order. Find a container that says time machine and bring it back. Once you've got it, rendezvous with me at the coordinates attached.
Welcome to Hide and Seek, the final and hardest mission in the base game, featuring the largest map and the most suspects. This is gonna be interesting. In this level, we have to retrieve a time machine for the sheriff of Los Sueños. You may mistakenly think the level is about a human trafficking operation, but that is a lie. We start the mission by having to clear the outside of this massive shipyard. Due to its open nature, this is one of the few levels where I actually like to bring a magnified scope. Out here, cover spots are few and far between, while the exact opposite rings true for our opposition. Hiding behind shipping containers, trucks, or simply veiled by darkness, we are ridiculously outnumbered here. We make our way through each and every enemy in our path until we finally make it to the large storage warehouse. Here, we don't have any hostiles shooting down at us from elevated positions, but it's still far from a safe location. As I was clearing out the enemies, I came across the package we had been sent to retrieve. So, I now had to head into the secret Reddit mod council hidden within the storage warehouse and take out the last few stragglers. Anyways, let's go deliver that package.
Did y'all bring me the package?
Sí, la tenemos.
Right. Been good knowing you.
Hijo de puta. Me vengaré.
Wake the fuck up, samurai. We've got a time machine to steal.